What is going on, guys? And in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new shooter that has now been out for just over a month now, and that is The Finals, made by Embark Studios. We're going to go over some of the things that I like and some of the things that I dislike. But before we get into it, if you guys enjoy content like this, gaming reviews and gaming news, feel free to like and subscribe to the content. But let's get into it. So right off the bat, one of the things that I love about this game is the concept of it. It is something that is completely different and something that I've been desperately looking for out of the FPS genre. It perfectly blends between a battle royale and a respawn 6v6 shooter, which I think could help kind of bridge that gap between people who love BRs and people who love 6v6 shooters but don't like vice versa. And that's part of the reason why I like it. Battle Royale is not exactly up my alley. I play it and I enjoy it, but it's not something I want to play constantly again and again and again and again. And respawn 6v6 shooters is something that I've been doing for the past 15 years, and I'm just kind of getting stale. It's kind of the same old TDM, capture a flag or plant a bomb. I love how this brings something new, something fresh. It's this new concept of having cash outs sprinkled around the map, and then you try to grab the vaults, take it to the cash out while trying to defend it, or you're trying to take the team that is trying to deposit the cash out and steal it from them. I love the tournament mode more. I like the idea of having 4 teams and 2 separate cash outs. Quick cash is fun. I don't mind it. I don't want to say that it's bad, but I do enjoy the tournament mode more, and I love the idea of progression where there's another game going on alongside your game, and then the top 2 then advance, and then the top 2 from that play against each other in a 1 team versus 1 team. So I like that one more. I will say the 60 game limit before playing ranked is a really good thing. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I actually like it because it does eliminate smurfing in a lot of these games with ranked game modes, things like Valorant, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, countless other games, Apex. There's a big issue with smurfing where they're trying to get around the skill-based matchmaking, but if you're going to play ranked, look, I'm not a huge fan of skill-based matchmaking, but if you're going to play ranked, you should try to do what you can to eliminate it. You want people to play at the exact level that you want to make sure everybody's kind of in that same ballpark, because that's what you're playing ranked for. So I like the 60 game limit. I think more games should start to implement that, and I think they are, especially new games. I don't know about so much as old games, but yeah. As for the launch, I thought it was very smooth. There was no major bugs, very few performance issues or server issues at launch. I personally never experienced any performance issues. I thought everything was fine. Same thing with the server issues. I do think adding friends is a little off and not like super intuitive, but that's something that's very small and that can be fixed, which is, I will say, that's very rare in gaming nowadays. Usually almost every game there's a 90% chance when a brand new game comes out that there's going to be major bugs, there's going to be performance issues. It might be a good game deep down, maybe, but it's also hard to tell because performance things. And the developers at Embark did a really great job with all the different play tests, all the different betas, all the alphas, to really make sure that when this game was to launch, that the servers were working correctly, that the performance was working good, and that the game and everything was kind of fine-tuned. I love the destruction in this game. This is coming from me, who is a diehard Battlefield player, and if you guys have watched my content over the past couple months, you know that I am a big Battlefield player. I've started playing Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, and that's part of the reason why I had so much excitement for this game, because those same developers at Embark are the same people that made that game. And I like the different element destruction brings to a game. You can use it to your advantage, and just overall as your strategy to help attack or defend. I believe it makes every game feel different and new. As of right now, I don't find there to be a lot of things that are generally annoying in the game. I feel like for the most part, when I lose a gunfight, I deserve to lose that gunfight. And not to say that there isn't things that could be tweaked and balanced more, which I'm going to get into in a little bit, but I will say the overall gist of the game, I don't find there to be anything super broken as of right now. Also really enjoy the fact that it requires you to play as a team and really work together and create builds that complement each other between having a heavy and a light and medium, really working together, seeing what other people have to make sure it works. And it almost kind of gives you that PvE co-op feel in that sense when you're playing hyper difficult games like that where you have to really work with each other and figure out what other people are using to make sure that you're setting yourself up to win, because certain games like COD or Apex or other battle royales, you just kind of go in there with what you have. I like how this one gives you that element of having to strategize with your teammates. And this one's a little, I don't want to say it's controversial for people that don't like the game, but I really enjoyed the time to kill. I think that time to kill is pretty well balanced when you consider everything that's going on in the map. The fact that there's a lot of third partying, destruction. I like that the time to kill is pretty good. I do think the heavy can be a little bit less health, but I'll address that right now with the things that I think should be changed about the game. In the current state of the game, I think the heavy is a little OP. I think the shotgun is too good, and I think he might have a little too much health. I wouldn't do anything, maybe like just an extra bar. Sometimes I just feel like you could put a whole clip into him and not get his kill, but I wouldn't change too much. Just a tiny tweaking. But yeah, the shotgun is definitely way too strong. But like I said, nothing drastic. It's nothing too crazy. I think it's something that they could change. I'm surprised they haven't changed it yet as of me recording this video. But I think they're just trying to get a laundry list of every little small bug to make sure that's cleaned up and then really start diving into balancing issues. I wish we could at least get some attachments. I get the idea for it to be bare bones, but I just want simple attachments, something like a sight. That's really, honestly, if you could just give me a sight and let me customize my sight, I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't necessarily need suppressors or foregrips or things like that, because I kind of get the idea what they're going for. I just really want a sight, because sometimes dealing with iron sights can just be annoying. Also, my other biggest gripe, and that's slowly starting to annoy me more and more, is the light character's invisibility. I think it's too good. I have pretty good vision, if I had to say so myself, and he is almost impossible to see sometimes. And I know that's a complaint that a lot of players are having recently, so hopefully they can do something to make it a little bit easier to see, because sometimes, especially with all the commotion and the clutter and everything going on, it is super difficult to see these players. I think something like a Halo type invisibility could be something really good, where you're staying still and then maybe you can't see them, but if they're moving, maybe make it outline them a little bit better, just to make it a little bit easier on people who aren't playing him. Also, lastly, this is something I don't think they can fix, because it's just the nature of the game, and it was one of the things that I addressed as something I like, but playing solo or with a random is just brutal. Like, I refuse to play this game solo. I can deal with playing with a random in quick cache, because sometimes a random can kind of follow you along and it kind of works, but playing by myself, no, that's an absolute no-go for me. It is impossible to play. This game is just too team-oriented to play with randoms or by myself. So but I don't know. I don't think there's really a way to change that, unless you find a way to solo only queuing, where it's just other people soloing, and then maybe incentivize like a better ping system or talking, because no one really talks in this game either, which I do find is kind of odd. I'm not quite sure why that is the case, but a lot of people really do not talk in this game. But can this game last? That's kind of like the big question a lot of people are having. I say yes. I think as of right now, the player count is thriving. It's doing really well. Do I think it'll be on par with Apex or Warzone in terms of player count and community? I don't know, probably not, but it doesn't have to be. I think everybody has this expectation that things have to be absolutely massive and shake up the entire industry. In reality, it probably won't, because it doesn't have that same marketing power that EA and Activision have. But this game is on track to do very well. It had really good marketing within the diehard FPS community, because coming straight out of launch had about 300,000 players. I'm not sure quite where it stands at currently, but I did see last week it was hovering around 150 to 200,000 players. That's on Steam alone, let alone what's going on the consoles. So I think it's going to do good, and most likely this game is going to foster a community that people will play every day and play it competitively. Someone like me, this is a game that's permanently going to be in my rotation. It is quite honestly the most fun I've had playing FPS in years. I genuinely love this game. This game is awesome. I just wish they can, once, as the game progresses through its life cycle, just add more, do more things. And it seems like a lot of people like it as well. For the most part, it's being well received and enjoyed by players. All I want to do is play it. I find the gameplay loop fun. The biggest thing a game has going for itself is that it's different and it's refreshing. Like I said, I'm tired of capturing flags or playing BRs. It's something different and actually fun. What I do believe will stop this game from absolutely being massive is that it's not necessarily for casuals. So I think you're only going to kind of cater yourself to more competitive players who play games all the time. It's not so much for solo players. I think due to the high TTK and the heavy movement, that you're going to create a skill gap that just maybe not a lot of casual gamers are going to really get into, unless maybe those casual gamers are coming from Apex, because I think Apex kind of gives you the most similarities when it comes to that. All in all, I believe there's enough competitive minded FPS players out there that would find this game fun and interesting and are currently enjoying their time with it. But let me know what you think of the finals. Will it last long term? Are you enjoying your time with it now? If you guys haven't done so already and you want to see more gaming discussions and reviews and things like this, please feel free to like and subscribe to the content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.